What do we know about these protests?
Well, it is rare, obviously, in particular in Beijing, the nation's capital, obviously, where they prefer stability. It's very rare to see these kind of protests. And what we're hearing is at least a dozen maybe jilted investors in some of the investment products coming from this big shadow bank, Zhongrong International Trust. Of course, the shadow banking industry in China provides a critical part of financing as far as loans to small to medium-sized enterprises and also, of course, private households, but also they offer a number of different investment products. And we're hearing from one of the main investors in Zhongrong, that's Zhongrong Enterprises, the board secretary, Wang Qiang, earlier this week admitting that they've missed payments on a batch of products on August 8th. On top of missed payments in July, at least 30 products are overdue. And Zhongrong also saying it has halted redemptions. And that board secretary, Wang, saying they don't have an immediate plan to cover payments as short-term liquidity has dried up. And he says there's been a tsunami of inquiries from investors as well as their own wealth managers as to why this is happening. Obviously, it shows another example that the troubles in the property sector, the troubles in the overall economy, as Annabelle just talked about, is spreading to the financial sector, and that should be a concern. That's why that report, obviously, coming from sources saying that authorities have asked certain private financial institutions to not be net sellers of equities, is showing the concern, obviously, at the higher echelons of power.
And of course, Steve, more developments around developer Country Garden, too. A lot going on.
Well, yeah, obviously Country Garden is the latest poster child of the indebtedness and the cash crunch at developers. China Evergrande used to be the poster child, but Country Garden has 4 times the number of developments across China. It used to be the largest developer just a couple of years ago by sales, now number 6. It missed interest payments early last week. It has a 30-day grace period. Otherwise, it will default. It has put out a statement. It is warning of major uncertainties in redemption of its bonds and says trading in some of its local bonds, onshore bonds, will remain suspended. 11 of those onshore notes have been suspended since earlier this week. It missed those interest payments on the dollar bond last week and again has that grace period. This is in addition, though, to the past poster child, Evergrande, its division, one of its units, Hengda Real Estate, also announcing to the Shanghai Stock Exchange that it is being investigated by the securities regulator, the CSRC, perhaps for information disclosure violations. Now, that is not rare. Many companies in China get those kinds of investigations into information disclosure violations. However, it is just another indication of the scrutiny and also the risks that are spreading across China.